Radio City presents Ask Maarga.
Hi, Dr. Satish Ramaiah, neuropsychiatrist and sleep disorder specialist from Maarga. We don't just heal minds, we want to put people in their personal best and get back to their life. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send the question to us. Mental illnesses are some kind of dysfunction in the functioning of the way we think, we feel and behave, or even relate to the people, or the way we function in general in our lives, either in personal life or professional life. This can be because of various reasons. We need to understand the reasons and take the right approach in treating the mental illnesses. There are many mental illnesses. At Maarga, we do treat all range of psychiatric problems and mental illnesses. Some of the serious mental illnesses are, illnesses like schizophrenia, bipolar affective disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders, or even very common mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, PTSD, sleep disorders, or even childhood developmental emotional problems. Or if you are an elderly person, you could be suffering from dementia, which is the memory problem primarily. Look, at Maarga, like I said, we do treat people with very serious mental illnesses coming with various sort of problems. A person with mental illness can feel very lonely, very ostracized, very stigmatized because they don't feel belong to the society. Also, they may have problems in insight and capacity, which means they may not understand what their illness is about and how the treatment is going about, and also their capacity to give consent. There are many other risk factors also associated with mental illnesses, like people may pose risk to themselves, like suicidal thoughts or self-harm, or risk to others if they do become aggressive and violent also. And many families may not know how to deal with these problems. So these are the various challenges. Other than that, people may have problems in accessing mental health services. Affordability could be an issue. At the same time, what do they do when the families don't know what to do about these mental illnesses? Thank you. That was a wonderful question. It's very important that we try and understand how mental illnesses are treated. So number one, initially we try to make a formulation of the individual who is suffering from mental illness, which means we try and understand why this person is suffering from this kind of symptoms at this point of time. So it could be their personal factors, upbringing factors, or some stresses they may have gone through, or it could be sometimes very biological in nature, which means they may be going through some neurochemical changes in the brain, or some social factors could be there. So we try and understand the reasons behind those persons' mental illness and then come up with a treatment product solution. So as far as the treatment is concerned, we divide them into short-term and long-term. Somebody who is acutely disturbed or violent or feeling extremely depressed or suicidal, they may need inpatient care because they are posing significant risk to themselves or others. So those patients, we sometimes do admit them in our psychiatric hospital, focus on what we call biopsychosocial model of treatment, which means they may need some medication initially to stabilize. Along with that, at Maarga, we do make sure that the psychosocial part is also taken care, which means the individual psychotherapy or the family therapy, occupational therapy, basically to put the person back to their life and help them with their functional recovery. So these are the approaches we can take. Sometimes some patients may not have insight into their mental illness, which means they may not even be aware that they have mental illness, and they may not have the capacity to give informed consent. As we know, we all need to give consent for any kind of medical treatment. But in mental health, there's a slight glitch here. We are actually treating people with lack of insight and lack of capacity to give consent. So there is a law in every country. Similarly, India also has a law called Mental Health Care Act 2017, which provides us the framework to treat patients against their wish if they are posing risk to themselves or others and because of suffering from mental illness. So using that framework, we sometimes admit the patients if they have psychiatric illness, which is of the nature and duration and posing significant risk. And we do make sure that all the patients' rights and their confidentiality and the privacy is taken care of.
Radio City presents Ask Maarga.